Okay, enough of that epic ESPN on NHL or NHL on ESPN theme. It's me, Francisco, joined by my one good buddy, Charles. Andrew is, well, if you've heard the show over the past few years, he's trying to slay the beast. Slay the beast right now. So he's got to go hone his skills, and it'll just be us today, which means it's gonna
get wild.
It's gonna get stupid. It's gonna get really stupid. Me and Charles are just talking about. All right, so yeah, actually, I want to start the show with this. So Andrew is finally deciding to be I don't know, less of a white guy. I guess. I don't know.
Not even less of a white guy. What Andrew decided to do is not be mid with his meals.
Yes. So obviously, we had the last episode. We had the I guess the inquiry, the inquisition. I don't know what we would call it of his.
No, the intervention.
Yeah. By the way, we have to give one to Doug because he believes in the Dolphins again.
I saw. Well, we'll talk about that accordingly.
Yeah,
there's sports sometimes on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe there is.
We're shocked, but there is.
Yeah,
but it's not just Charles and Francisco dicking around.
Actually, this show is basically us dicking around.
Oh, if you love stupidity, this is your show, because now we're a quarter of the season out. There is no real sports anymore.
No.
If we talk basketball, it's hating on trades and loving Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
Y'all are in for it.
So all right. So we're here, and Andrew gave. I guess he and this is kind of random. I kind of felt it was random. I know it's kind of in line with the stuff, but he just kind of just blurted out there, "Hey, give me suggestions for what to eat tomorrow," right? And I didn't respond to this. He asked me if we wanted to go out to lunch today. But I think by that point I already eaten lunch. I had a hearing, or I was going to have a hearing earlier in the day. But yeah. Anyways, so and besides, my diet's kind of kept me very limited to me going out. I really don't want to, because I know, much like and you'll hear my affinity for certain video games. I can really relapse pretty hard.
Yeah, you're a Kirby. We get you.
So I'm afraid to actually take him places, because I know I could. I know I could take him places to eat some pretty tremendous meals, but I can't be his Latino food Sherpa for now, at least. Okay, I need to lose about 13 or so pounds before I can get there. All right, Andrew. So if you can hold out for a month and a half or more, depending on how my body, I'm gonna force this damn thing to use these fat reserves at some point. So there we go. Anyways, yeah, he posted that, and it's kind of funny. Me and Charles had similar ideas, but I ultimately I offered him a enchilada, right? I thought that was a nice solid, because what his exact words were. He wanted something that would make his taste buds explode, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
he can't do spicy, so that literally is a conundrum.
That's the thing. You have to.
Enchiladas, I'm yeah, definitely can't do that.
He doesn't do spicy, but I feel like it's not that he can't do spicy. I just feel like he needs to be weaned into it, right?
Yeah. How am I gonna also ever advise this man to have an Argentinian steak with chimichurri?
Exactly.
The frites, man. It's slowly,
because
but surely.
As much as Latinos season their meats and everything like that, there's the stuff that goes on top of it or on the side of it. There's stuff that can also enhance that already fantastic flavor.
Yeah. We're enhancers. We're needle movers up in cooking.
You go to a Mexican restaurant and get Mexican food. I mean, you got all the all the different type of picadillos and picantes that you can use, tomatillos, all that stuff that kind of helps with enhancing that flavor. It kind of gives it more of a kick than it already does have, And I feel like if he has to be willing to to dive into that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's much like like Asian food. Like Asian food, there's they've got their own level of spiciness as well.
Thai food is hard, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm not playing.
But you have to be able to wean yourself into it.
Do you think he would do Indian food? Curry is too strong for me.
I,
Like I've had certain
I
Indian
don't think
foods
he's
in
at that level
restaurants.
yet. He's look, he's beginner, right? He
I
is
mean, he's not even beginner. He's story mode
Right.
version. If we're gonna try, and we're not insulting Andrew by the way, but we're just going from what he tells us.
exactly. He's we'll treat him like a 3-year-old Mexican baby.
Yeah, sounds about right.
By 3 years old, they're already starting to taste that spiciness already. But they got to ease their way into it. So we got to find a way to ease him into these other flavors that he's not going to get from regular old American food. Okay, this ain't your Tabasco sauce. Okay.
Yeah, is Tabasco overrated? Can we
Yeah.
just say it? I think it is.
I personally don't use it. I personally don't use it. There's so much more better options if you want kick, you want some heat. There's so many better options out there. If God, man, and there's a fantastic place at the Dolphin Mall. And I think all these, and I think I feel like it's a trend in a lot of malls lately because malls are trying to find a way to survive. But have you ever seen those malls with all the spicy sauces?
Yeah.
The stores,
Yeah, I love those just in general. You'll get a few of those downtown where I live.
Yeah, they give you.
You'll have a World of Beer equivalent. New Orleans had some too.
Yeah, you go over there. They have all the different kinds of hot sauces and spices and whatnots that you can, I don't know, to your heart's desire. Last time I went, I got a mango chili barbecue sauce. Like it was amazing.
Those always tend to be strong too. Any kind of fruit infused.
Yes.
Hot sauces because it's just supposed to hide on you. It's a little sneaky on you.
It is because you get that sweet and then it punches you with the heat. But it's fantastic. I love it. That's always a great. It's a great treat. It's a great treat to me at least. But he needs I feel like maybe I should take him to that. Oh, I don't know if he's willing to actually go to a mall, but because they have the little spoons, just like at a frozen yogurt place or whatever.
Yeah,
you could
try
out the
the
little
franchise version of that would be like Tijuana Flats, where you could just pick your sauces, but they're not really readily accessible. So
that's
as cool as they are, I want to be able to buy it sometimes. I always have a bottle, and Cristal. Really, we should just give Cristal or Crystal. I don't know what they call it. I call it Cristal, but it's the most neutral hot sauce for flavor.
Mm-hmm.
The most neutral hot sauce for flavor, without a shadow of a doubt. I would feel.
Yeah.
But food tastes better with hot sauce. You ever have just white rice? Disgusting. Terrible. Lived on that stuff. That's in our blood. Put some hot sauce on it. We're good.
I mean, look, I can have white rice in very different forms, even by itself. I mean, my mom, my aunt over here that I live with. I mean, they make some pretty mean white rices that you don't need anything more with it, but. Yeah, you can have some stuff. Heck, I had. This is how sad my diet is, Charles. I was feeling a little saucy, and I was gonna go out on a Bumble date, whatever, on Saturday, and I was like, well, I can't. It's my cheat day, right? I can't go nuts with an entire pizza. I was gonna try Pizza Hut, but I couldn't with plans changed, and I was like, I can't go nuts. So
you can't go to some person and be like, "Hey, baby, no one out pizzas the Hut," and be like coming in with 2 boxes in each hand.
So
I mean, look, there's some men and women who are about that, so we're not going to judge you.
Oh no,
we're not going to judge you. I am literally that person.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm also 32 and I don't care anymore.
But it was like a dinner, so I'm like, well, for lunch I can't go ham. I literally cannot go ham. So I was, my aunt made rice. She made rice. It was downstairs. It was right there. I was just like, okay, let me just get a couple cups of rice, and I've avoided going to supermarkets. I haven't replenished my mini fridge. Usually it's stocked completely, but I can't. I have to fight the temptation in some sort of way.
Yeah.
So it's
I
empty.
mean, you know the damage I did when I went to Walmart. I
Oh
came
my
out with
God.
with Chips Ahoy Candy Blast and the little lemon drizzle
Okay, here's
baby
how
cake.
bad it is, Charles. Last time I went to a supermarket, I bought a box of double stuffed Oreos.
Yeah, well, you know what? You bought the right one. Oreos are doing their what 100th anniversary coming up,
Yeah,
so you know it's not as if you are without. They're the best.
I know.
Double stuff are the best. I love me the megas, but they're unnecessary.
The megas, yeah, the megas are just like you do it once, you're like, I did it, and then
I was licking for days.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was the last time I went to an actual supermarket to stock up with like cereals and whatnots. So I look in my fridge and it's pretty bare. It's pretty damn bare. I'll have like waters and stuff inside there. But I don't
Well,
I had
you
a
know,
I had a
that's
bottle
startup.
of Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A. I was like, well, let's just put this on the rice.
All that is pineapple hot sauce without the hot.
I mean, yeah, it's not hot. Yeah.
Can we stop? I'm gonna say right now because we should just make a sub show of Franco Sinad. But Chick-fil-A is just overrated. I'm saying right now.
I've
I'm
said
sorry.
this for years. I
Yeah,
have
we're
said this
sorry,
for
20 year
years.
old white girls at FSU.
Yeah.
It is just not
It's
like
basic.
my liking. It's
It's-
so basic. I could just get the same taste from Tyson chicken nuggets. I said it.
For real.
I don't even care.
No.
Be offended, be hurt. Someone has to say it. I feel like that. Not the Eric Andre meme, but the other one is just like, why would somebody say something so controversial?
Mm.
It's just true, guys. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
It's absolutely true, and I've said this for years. Look, they can, and much like to what you said about Tyson chicken nuggets. Like, I mean, heck, at FIU, that was like the go-to for them to order like as a catering thing. Is just get that big giant tray of the nuggets.
Yep.
And just leave them in the middle.
And thinking that we're gonna like it. I'll take their breakfast, sure, because it's breakfast. I will never say no to like free breakfast from fast food.
Yeah, fast food
They're
restaurants
usually
isn't bad.
they're usually decent
Yeah,
quality.
pretty
Anywho,
solid. Yeah. All right.
they know what they're about.
Yeah, stick it in the microwave. Heat up that egg.
Yeah.
That egg
Get
disc.
some tapatio hot sauce and you're good.
Yeah. So.
But Jesus Christ, man.
No, and I've said this really, like, I see the long lines. You see the long lines of their drive-through.
It's so intimidating.
And I'm like, why? What is, like, I've had so many better chicken sandwiches, and when we've ever since the chicken war started,
Yeah.
which has been going on for like about 3
We've been
years.
out for 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, about
And then
3
we
years the
picked
chicken wars
sides.
actually started. Like, I think we first started talking about it, and then they officially said that there was a chicken war. I'm like, oh, okay. But we've all tried our hand at all the various different. This is not a sports show today, guys.
There will be sports. There's competitive
get to
cooking.
it.
I mean, so that's a sport. Anything with competition.
Yeah,
And
there's
really
something
what
to
this is a competition of being the best of the best.
Right. With
Y'all don't want to talk about NHL All-Stars and then trade
we've
deadlines.
dabbled in all of them. We've given them a fair shot. We've had Popeyes, KFC,
Yummy.
friggin' Zaxby's.
Yeah.
I've had McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and honestly, throughout these chicken wars, I've had very little Chick-fil-A, and I don't want to dunk on my sister here, but they always get Chick-fil-A. I think it's pretty basic, When
And it's not even the sandwiches. Everybody's just getting the nuggets. I'm like, what are you, 5?
yeah, the sandwiches
I understand
leave
it's a
a
chicken
lot
place,
to be
but-
desired, man.
At least with KFC, they give me 2 different. They're like, hey, do you want the chicken on the bone and that grease on your lips, or do you want the tenders? And ever since they went and of course, how could we forget instant death, the bowl?
Yeah.
Like let's call it what it is. KFC is superior just because they're the one who had the heart to say, hey, you know what? What if we gave you something that's a mixture of chicken nuggets, but baby chicken nuggets, and then we gave you the mashed potatoes, the gravy, and like shredded cheese on top, and you're like,
Yeah.
a word?
Yeah. Oh no, the bowls were fantastic when they first came out. I was already a fan when it's
ridiculous.
I was like, wow, this is. I mean, it was so simple. It was such a simple solution. I can't believe nobody else thought of it.
Well, no one has the heart because Popeyes mashed potatoes trash. I
Yeah.
like their dirty rice. I'm definitely about that. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie on that one. I'm not even gonna be like a super supporter against them. It's just but I don't want Cajun dirty rice on my with my chicken mixed in one thing. I'm like I'm a sensible human being, but a bowl. Hold on here.
Yeah. So yeah, and look, what's more, look, I had the chicken for like 8 weeks straight, right?
Still good. Still
Like
good. Yeah.
I went nuts for
I,
that thing. I haven't
I
had it
had
in a
that like
while,
3 weeks
but
ago.
ugh. And look, and even McDonald's. I've gone to McDonald's like twice in the last few months for their spicy chicken sandwich. I think it's actually a solid sandwich. To be honest, I'm not a big McDonald's guy, but their chicken sandwiches, their spicy chicken sandwich, is a very solid sandwich.
Is
I
that the
think
one where I promised to get, but I never did?
no, I think that was like the BTS meal. We never got that. We never
Hey,
got
look,
that.
you.
And then
We're actually trying to be healthy too, McDonald's. We're
well,
sorry.
McDonald's hasn't
Jesus.
sponsored us in forever. Ever since
Because we don't support them.
it's well, I think our McRib commentary might have caught the ears of somebody
Oh, I don't want to eat gelatinous plastic
because
that's
we had
leftovers from Mattel. What am I supposed to say?
we had
That's
like
what it
one
tastes like.
episode where that popped out and it never returned. I remember on my because I use the same for the sponsorship for my streams for gaming, and I popped up more often in my game, and I'm like, I feel like this is not a coincidence that it stopped on our show. But it was the McRib episode. Our comments on it that it would give you cancer, and I don't think we're wrong, but
Oh,
but oh gosh, and so I feel like let's loop this back around to Andrew. Like we're naming all the fast food stuff, and it's like the stuff they like. I want to know what his threshold for spicy food is, because I feel like fast food spicy food
it's
is
an absolute lie.
yeah, but I feel like that if we're gonna have a barometer, I want to know where it's at. Can he handle I don't know, the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich? I feel like that's a very good classic basic spicy
Yeah,
food
that's fine. Spicy chicken
item.
nuggets. It's something for old people to get a
Right.
little bit of the kick.
Right. Dak
Okay.
Prescott likes it, like it's not bad. But
Checkers, man. They used to make the Frank's Red Hot double chicken sandwich. That's how I got fat. I'm not even playing. 20-year-old Charles just had like two of
damn,
them
man.
each time, double fisted them. They were great. Like,
I've actively avoided Checkers for a while because of I
they're too greasy.
I know, man. I've Checkers and Five Guys, and I know Five Guys has like the thing where like, oh, we use whatever, and I'm like, it's still greasy. It's still a greasy sandwich, guys. Like I'm not crazy in thinking that. And the fries are soaked in whatever they have soaked into it.
Crack. Do you want to know what the complaint against Five Guy burgers are? And I've come to realize it. Whatever condiments that you put on it is really unnecessary at the end of the day, because the burgers are greasy good enough, but they're still greasy enough to not warrant. Because I usually get my burgers with the hot sauce.
Yeah, that
but it doesn't make sense.
That umami takes over your tongue, and you can't really process anything else after that. Right?
It's just not warranted, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on me. It's not me for whatever reason thinking that I need, because I'm so conditioned. I'm so conditioned to have additional stuff on my burger that isn't like ketchup or mustard, or I don't. Do you do mayonnaise on a burger? I'm not against it, depending what kind of burger it is.
I do.
I've had people who are like, "That's weird." I'm like, what?
I mean, I don't try and actively put mayonnaise in a lot. I mean, because of the fattening.
You hate
of it. That's the thing. Like, but I'm fine with it. It's not like I don't think I know a lot of people hate mayonnaise, but I don't know why. I feel like it's fine. And it might be because some people are strictly Cool Whip people,
Cool Whip
or Miracle Whip. Like yeah, mayonnaise isn't bad. I'm not. Light mayonnaise is kind of iffy. That's a hit and miss between what they try and do. I think they've improved upon it, but like 10 years ago, that was not edible. Whatever they were trying to do with light or diet or fat free, whatever they're trying to do with mayonnaise to try and make it healthier, wasn't working out. But I feel like they've improved upon it since.
I mean, it's relatively simple for me. I just, I lighten the amount on my spoon or my fork,
Hmm.
knife. I don't know why. I'm like killing things on this game, so that's why.
But yeah, yeah. So you back to Andrew.
We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
And there's a
we
reason
need a
why,
brother.
because,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think everybody does. When we were kids and we're like, I don't like it. And, we have to be force fed it from our parents. We just
Hmm.
want to try it out. That's what it is. We just want to see how that is. And that's why we're encouraging him. And
Yeah.
also because I think, what do you get in Oklahoma? Barbecue. And then he lived in Orlando. What do you get? Sepsis. Because Orlando's a trash city, and he's not here. So anytime Andrew's not here, we're just gonna
We're
crap on it.
free reign on Orlando,
Free reign
UCF,
Orlando,
Tampa.
overrated. Smells bad. The water's
The
bad.
Rays are moving to Montreal.
Yeah, Orlando's just known for its high crack content,
Yeah.
and drugs and
Disney's evil.
tourism. Disney's super evil. Universal's okay, but they don't put enough money
Ooh.
to revamp the
All right.
the past stuff, not the current stuff.
I
But yeah,
wanna
Andrew.
get into this. So because this kind of reminds me of something. So the Panthers posted today. Okay, we're in a little bit of sports stuff, but
Look, guys, sports.
a little bit of it. We're gonna ease our way into the sports talk, but the Panthers posted today. So I started Panthers historian, so I'm doing that. It's doing pretty okay.
Follow him
But
on the Twitter, Panthers historian, Charles the True, Jeffrey
yeah,
Hollis, Sports
well,
Goofs.
actually, it's not
Okay,
literally
okay.
Panthers historian because
I
okay,
don't
whoever
know,
took
man.
Panthers history on Twitter got their account suspended forever. It was most likely a shitty Carolina Panthers fan because that's probably I don't know what season.
Or some dude who's really into Panthers, like a Joe Tiger dude or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. So the account suspended, and I can't get the handle, and FLA Panthers was too long for so it's FLA Cats history. So that's the handle for that.
Follow him on the Twitter.
Anyways, so the Panthers posted that they were gonna have a Star Wars night, and every professional sports team does this. But look, I'm not a Star Wars guy. I've seen the movies. I've seen them. Like I can get why people like them. My best friend from Florida State was. Wow, these guys are not on the face-off circle. I don't know why that is in the emulated game in the background here, but like my best friend was a fanatical Star Wars fan. Remember him getting this Force Unleashed back on the PS3 way back when we were roommates. But I can't get into. It's not even like before. It was niche, right? It was just the nerds who followed it, right? Before the I guess before the
No, but okay.
I feel like it. I feel like the no. It got popular, whatever, and then in the downtime between, was it?
So basically, before Disney bought it, everybody was normal. And then they had the expanded Legacy universe, right? And that's the ones who were really nerdy because you're talking about people who were like, well, Boba Fett came back from the Scarlet Pit in the books and everything like that. Postings.
That's what I mean.
George
That's what I
Lucas
mean.
touch.
That's what I mean. I'm talking about like before even the prequel
repurchase.
trilogy came in.
Yeah.
That to get into Star Wars, to get into it was a significant niche, and I don't, and it wasn't on a, it was mainstream, but it wasn't on such
It's a different kind of mainstream.
exactly. It wasn't permeated throughout society especially with these sports teams, right? These theme nights. I get a theme night, minor league teams doing that stuff, right? But not
shouldn't be a professional sports
Yeah,
team.
not major league sports of any sort. But since I would say since Disney got it for sure.
Anytime that someone said May the 4th.
Oh yeah, probably when that
That's
started.
what it is, yeah.
Probably
Which
when
was,
that
what,
started.
10 years ago?
Yeah. Whenever Twitter became a thing and then Facebook started blowing up, like that was because they're in the MySpace days. I don't even think that was a thing.
Yep.
But I'm sick of it, man. It's such a normie thing now.
I love you so much right now between the last 2 days that if I had a child, I would name it Francisco.
Like it's such a normie ass thing. Like Star Wars isn't a nerdy thing no more. I think it's a normie thing now. I think
Star Wars is like ultimate hate culture and toxic culture for anybody
yeah.
who doesn't like Star Wars. It basically became communist agenda. I'm just saying right now.
Let's compare it to the other nerdy things that are out there. So I would compare like Star Wars with you got Star Trek, which I think
I couldn't
is
get into Star Trek.
yeah, but I feel like that's more of a like
That's actually more nerdy, I think, because not everybody.
exactly
You don't have Disney buying billions of dollars for Star Trek.
right.
It's just Paramount trying, man. They're trying hard.
They're trying. They're trying. We'll see. They got Halo coming up now,
Ugh.
and people got mad because Cortana's not blue and
Yeah.
naked.
Yeah. Oh God, why do they do this to me?
Yeah. So, Star Trek. Yeah, I feel like there's a level. And Andrew's a Star Trek fan, but I feel like that's on a different. That's nerdy. That's a nerdy thing.
Yeah.
You got
And niche.
you got
Because
another
all I
one.
know is Klingon and Vulcan.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. You got Lord of the Rings. I think that's the next. You got a next
Lord
one there.
of the Rings hit that cross-stream media, but part of it was forcefully rammed down your throat because of the Academy Awards, where they're just
Right.
like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give Return of the King all these things." And when you watch Return of the King, it's like, okay, is it good? Because I think they wanted to transcend. They wanted films to
Well, I
be
feel like
considered.
I feel like the Two Towers is the one that was most deserving of it, of the
Okay,
best
yes.
picture. But they were like, I forgot what movie was like Chicago or something like one that won that Academy Award, and then
I
it
don't
was
even
like
think Two Towers is nominated, right?
I would think I don't know. Either way, I feel like they were willing to. I think they probably would have been like, well, man, Two Towers, but there's still one more movie, so we'll just give it to them as an overall award for the entire trilogy. I
See,
feel
and
like
with
that's
Lord
what
of the
that
Rings,
was.
it's two different things. Because there's people who've never read the books, and it's just strictly the movies and the games and the medium, me. And then there's people who've read the books and then love the movies, and there's people who read the books and are like, the movies or whatever. Then there are changes. I tried to read the books; they're boring. And maybe it's because the time I tried to read them, I was like 14. I
Oh,
read
yeah.
The Hobbit, and then,
My
but
sis-
it was, I can literally feel, and I don't think I've ever was going to say this in my life, especially if it was going to be on broadcast, but I could literally feel just I could just hear the sounds of J.R.R. Tolkien as he's writing this stuff, just kind of unzipping himself, going, "Oh, what a great idea with the Shire!" Because it is very like self,
aggrandizing.
it's not even just that. It's just kind of like I don't want to say it's pompous, but it's adulation. It's
Yeah.
self-adulation at its finest. Because it's like I'm gonna create a language that only I know, and I'm gonna know the intent, and I'm gonna write all these unpublished things. It's one of the only few works where it's literally unpublished, and everybody's still invested. I'm like, he died. That's it. And I'm gonna say it right now because we're going off on a real tangent, but I'm gonna say it right now. Tolkien was a pansy because he didn't want to kill anybody, from it. Oh, they killed Boromir. All right,
Yeah.
and
Gandalf's dead.
one book.
Nope, he's back.
Well, yeah, and that's fine. That's actually a super trope. But
Yeah.
then everything becomes like angelic stuff, and the Varnir and all that, or angels.
Star Wars.
You couldn't even.
Star
You
Wars
couldn't
is victim
even.
of that now.
Well, so then let's bring it back to Star Wars. It became like so like meh, but who's the audience? Because when Disney bought it, I was like, all right, great. George Lucas ain't gonna do anything because you know what? His imagination. It wasn't even his imagination that's limited to me. It's the fact that he just can't write, man. He does not have good writing skills.
Well, remember, the Star Wars is basically a space western, so
Yeah, but you still would hope that they could write said space western, and then what
coming of
happened?
age type of thing,
Yeah, and then essentially what happens is that where it got Disney, I'm like, oh, this is great. They're going to invest resources and all this stuff, and then they're like, hey, we're gonna rehash all of New Hope into
Nostalgia.
Force Awakens, which is fine. I love New Hope, and then when Last Jedi came in, I'm one of the few people who's like, yeah, I'm about this. I can get behind it. And the reason why I was for it is because I like some dark territory, and I went into some lore. I'm the guy who's actually reading some Star Wars books, so the Thrawn trilogy. I'm finally almost done with that after 4 years, and then we got to like Rise of Skywalker, and spoiler, but it's been 2 years. Palpatine comes back, and literally on the crossface, Palpatine's come back somehow. I'm like, y'all are insulting me. Like, what? That's like asking me for a second date when you made me pay for the bill. How dare you, sir?
Yeah.
It's just not good. It's trash.
Yeah.
And in modern day stuff, you have Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter's another one too.
They were too afraid to come up with some other threat to, I don't know.
Well, no, they just didn't want to make Kylo evil.
Yeah,
That's what it is. They want to do this redemption story. They want to have Rey, be all to it.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
either way, they couldn't find a way to tell that story without doing something that was so, I don't know, maybe too easy to do.
yeah. and
Like,
everything wasn't
no,
structured.
it's
And the problem is they pimped it out so much that I don't care about it. I haven't watched any of their shows. I don't care about the Mando. I don't care about Book of Boba Fett. Yes, I want the Kenobi show, but they're probably going to ruin it, so it doesn't matter to me. Like I know what I'm getting. It's basically just eating. It's basically being poor and knowing I have to eat ramen, kids. Like that's essentially what we know what we're getting ourselves into.
mm.
And they're gonna do more. They're gonna do a and you know what's weird, out the prequel stuff. Me and my friends talk about it because I love my friends. They're really into the Star Wars stuff. I have a few of them that do the cosplay, 501s with 501st, doing their shout outs, and then other people doing that stuff where they'll read the Legacy or Expanded Universe edition. But it is very niche, and then we get into these groups of arguments where we're feeling that nostalgic in that old age about what is good, what is bad, and they just want to be like, oh, this movie's trash or that movie's trash. But we find ourselves having that argument. We're like, oh, Solo wasn't really bad. It was cookie cutter, but this thing comes in. And then we have Rogue One, which I like the most because Rogue One doesn't make me feel stupid. I don't know. Disney's just not good because all they want to do is just buy properties. And because they want to buy properties, they don't know what to do with your properties. And what they want you to do is we have become conditioned.
They bought all these properties so they could fill up Disney Plus.
Exactly. And what they have conditioned you is just to accept mediocrity and just like, yeah, sure, I guess.
I'm glad they got out of the video game for sure. I can't imagine them buying.
It's only for now.
Buying properties for just to have something, in a gaming pipeline of some sort. And heck, we're experiencing that now with Microsoft and Sony and whatever they're buying up stuff.
Well, the thing with Disney is they want to be like, that's cool. Just saying it 5 times. And yes, you can have cool, but a 6-year-old's not going to question the logical plots.
They're back.
Yeah, my God, man. Like,
it's not even spoilers at this point. Everybody knows.
I don't even care. If you've had 2 months, I don't care. But I literally got flack for just not rubbing the nuts. I said it was an 8. I said it was a week 8. And everybody's looking at me like I'm a madman because I have an opinion that's different. Because it's like, whatever. But you're mean to tell me that your logical story to tell after Far From Home was, let's just do a Spider-Verse again because Sony did it with them and we can't deal with the fact that somebody else has to make a better Spider-Man movie than we did. Because I think Into the Spider-Verse is actually a very superior movie, but I cannot compare an anime movie to live action movies. People want to, they say they can. I'm like, nope, it's not comparable because it's just not. No. There's different acting, there's different techniques, there's different directions. Part of the movie that was so good was because of the fact you're like, oh, hey, this is, finally acted. But, when anime movies are like, hey, this is finally animated. This is cool. You can't get that there. But seriously, yes, there are emotional depths or some things that are pretty decent, all this other stuff. But I'm still not going to shy away. I can have a good time and still criticize it. And that's the problem with, the media world and going to Disney is that if you enjoy it, you feel that you can't talk crap about it.
It's either you like it completely or you hate it completely.
Yeah, all for nothing.
Yeah, look, and my big thing has been lately, and we're going to find a way to loop this back around to whatever my point was about Star Wars. Actually, let me just make that
Andrew,
point. Right?
It was about Andrew, but make your point.
But no. Well, that was the food thing. Now we're on to the Star Wars thing. But it's just a normally basic ass thing to do. In fact, I even wrote back on the Panthers. That I replied to that tweet. I was like, "Can y'all do a video?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Can y'all do a video game night? Like, I feel like there are so many avenues for promoting video games."
I think Pac-Man would be like perfect for hockey because they're all trying to chase little dots. So you could just have a little
tailor-made for a lot of especially some of the soundtracks. Like the Doom soundtrack is perfect for hockey.
Says the man who's in love with Doom. Hardcore.
But it matches. All right, the death metal. That's hockey to a T. Okay.
Yeah, but video games are violent, Francisco.
We could go normie basic ass if we want to. You can do Pac-Man, Mario, and Sonic. That's fine. And some Pokemon. I don't mind that. I'm surprised there isn't Pokemon nights on a grander scale, given that Pokemon's the biggest IP in the entire world right now. Like I'm surprised that hasn't caught on yet. And well, maybe Nintendo and Pokemon Company will get onto it at some point. I think that's their grand plan this decade. Is to become. They're going to have
Pokemon Land, right, or something like that.
Well, Nintendo Land's already opened up in Japan at Universal, and they're going to have
which just intrigues me so much because I feel like I don't need it, but I think that's cooler to me because a lot of Nintendo stuff is very voiceless and not animated. You're really contained to little
Mm-hmm.
cuteness in there versus Disney. Like I can't get. I know the kid dressed as Peter Pan is not Peter Pan. I know the person dressed as Chewbacca is just some person who's trying to get to Juilliard, and instead of just trying to date her way or his way to the top, they're like stuck with just having to deal with some whiny kid who's like, "Oh, come look at me, Spider-Man," that stuff.
So
Those people don't get paid enough. Disney's it's a child slave. Yeah, that's what it is.
so
Free Coney or whatever it was.
So what was it? Coney 2012, right?
Coney 2012.
Yeah, Jackin' in San Diego. Uh,
Jacking it.
oh my god, I love that song. What was it? So yeah, just let's expand our horizons there. All right. There's the nerd spectrum goes beyond Star Wars. I'm surprised there hasn't been Harry Potter nights and all that sort of stuff. Okay. All right. What was it?
Well, the Harry Potter controversy always like that encourages witchcraft. I'm like, not in South Florida.
Yeah.
That's the tamest stuff. If you see like a rooster on the road, that's game over.
Where was I? Oh yeah. So I guess we could talk about sports. Let me see what's going on. Yeah. Well, rest in peace to Gerald Williams, our Lord and Savior,
yeah.
Derek Jeter's mourning today.
That was depressing.
I didn't really know that he would like that guy was one of his best friends. I didn't know it was that deep.
Nor did I. And then I went down the deep dive on lunch about it. And I'm like, oh, that's depressing.
I mean, from what the story was, is that they became friends in the minor leagues, and some other minor leaguer was like, I don't know, getting on Jeter about something, just bullying him in the locker room, and then Gerald Williams stepped up and was like, hey, you keep this
Imagine
going.
being the guy who bullied Derek Jeter professionally.
Yeah. And they didn't name names. I'm pretty sure whoever it was probably didn't make it. But yeah, you imagine that's massive karma on a grand scale. If you were that, whoever that minor leaguer was back in the day. So yeah, that happened today.
Yeah, like a fight with cancer that's been going on for several years.
Yeah, it didn't.
It's very depressing though.
Yeah.
It's because I'm not feeling my mortality yet. I don't think I'll make it to 50. I'm just gonna say on the show, I'm not doing it to be egregious. It's just life happens. I'd rather be like, hey, I'll go at 50 than I will go at like 80. But he was only like 55.
Yeah.
So you're like, damn.
Yeah, I think they had a photo of him with the other Yankees crew. I don't know if that was at Mariano's induction ceremony. I'm not sure, but they were there.
So I got kind of scared because I saw Williams, and I thought about Bernie immediately.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no! And then I had to take a moment because I don't really remember Gerald too much. It's different times.
I mean, he was the '96 team, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was a little itty bitty baby. It happens, but I was a little bit almost distraught thinking it was Bernie.
And he was on the Marlins 03 squad. He didn't play much, but he was on the he was there in the dugout and everything when they won at Yankee Stadium. So he was part of that. So he got 2 rings. So there's that. And I don't want to do a player remember forget on him because I feel like it'd be very discourteous. Given the stuff. But there is a player I want to do one for today, Charles. And it's because I was watching a video on YouTube. I watch my sports stuff, and I felt like
don't be like me who sends you other stuff. That's just insulting.
Oh my god! And we might even talk about that because my god, and we talked about it a little bit already. But so player remember forget today, Charles. It's Brandon Moore.
Yes, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
So Brandon Moore, everybody, offensive guard, went to Illinois, was undrafted, played his entire NFL career with the New York Jets from 2003 to 2012, played in NFL Europe too, played in the Arena Football League, made the Pro Bowl in 2011, but I think he's most famous now for being the butt of the infamous butt fumble.
Yep.
Which when I was researching this, because I watched a video about the New York Jets, it was basically like, why are the New York Jets so terrible? And Well, the butt fumble came up, and I was like, man, because everybody knows who the quarterback was. It was Mark Sanchez, who ran into the butt. But who was the butt in the butt fumble? Well, thankfully, there's plenty of video evidence of it, and there is literally a Wikipedia article about it. which I don't know, man. There's a lot of horrible things in this world, but
Did he give a new definition for tapping
there's
that
somebody
ass?
who's having a really bad day, and maybe they go on Wikipedia every day and they just hit random article and learn about things.
We are those people.
All the knowledge of humanity in one website, and they hit random article, and today's lesson is the butt fumble. So I just wanted to remember him. Before this, 49-19. It was on Monday night, so everybody was watching it, or was it Sunday Night Football? I think it was a Sunday Night Football game. Yeah, because it was NBC. Sunday Night Football game. Like it's great. The Wikipedia article does a pretty good job of highlighting the history of it before the butt fumble happened. The actual butt fumble play and the aftermath of the butt fumble. There's even a post-mortem.
I mean, it killed Mark Sanchez's career. Like, for some reason, everybody said, oh, this quarterback who went to the AFC Championship twice with us could not be tolerable anymore because of the fact that, he landed another man's ass.
So, the butt fumble is just a fantastic moment in NFL history. And Brandon Moore will, like, I don't know let me see what's he doing now. Gosh, I don't see anything about what he's doing today in his life.
He's doing squats. That's what he's doing. He's gonna make his comeback.
But whatever he's doing out there, he's 41. If he has a chance of getting back into the NFL as a coach or an executive or something of that sort, I would hope that one day he wins the Super Bowl and is the only member of this infamous moment from the New York Jets to have a ring afterwards, because it seems like everybody who was involved with that was on the New York Jets probably does not have a Super Bowl ring. I haven't looked that up. Maybe there's one guy who was like on a practice squad or something, but I have no idea.
I don't think so. Yeah,
I doubt it's very
Darrelle
doubtful.
Revis? Has to be Revis.
Revis,
because remember he went to the Pats, and then he won his Super Bowl that one year and came back. Or was he with the Buccaneers when the butt fumble happened? What season was the butt fumble?
Let's look up Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis, it's a cornerback. And butt fumble was in 2012. Yeah, he was on the New York Jets. So, yeah. There we go. Charles, you got it. All right. Yeah.
Oh, we actually know things.
Look at that. So, he got his ring. He got his ring after the butt fumble. So, there's one guy that was... he wasn't on the field. He was a cornerback, so he wasn't on the field during the play. He was on the sidelines, but he witnessed it in some sort of way.
How do you think those players felt when they saw their own quarterback, the guy who had been in the league for 3-4 years, just like running? He ran into it like a person runs away from a snake, coming into it. He just ran right into that ass. It was like, whew. And he went down too. It's like, Brandon Moore's ass must be like a Mike Tyson haymaker.
Yeah,
must be.
I love urinating Tree every time he does a sports ball thing. He always has that clip of the butt fumble, and he always pairs it with the sound effect from Mario Brothers when the Koopa shell hits a wall.
Yeah,
like that sound. That's great. Okay, so that's a player remember forget. I wanted to get that out of the way, and then, gosh, oh yeah, I had another one that kind of. I had a theme, but I wasn't able to do it before last time. So I'm not sure if, let's see how I can do this. How can I do this? Because it was a theme. I like doing my themes every once in a while. So let's go with, yes. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go with, damn it. Where Where's the damn thing? I put these in order, and I never seem to get this right. There it
I
is.
think the theme has been nonsense
There
for
we go.
today.
Uncultured swine. So
Oh
we're learning
boy,
about
we're
international.
actually getting real stuff in here.
Yeah, this is stuff I had saved, and we just never got to. So, uncultured swine. I'm gonna go with. We're going up to Canada. We're doing the Calgary Stampeders. So Calgary Stampeders, they play in the Canadian Football League. They play over at McMahon Stadium, but not that McMahon, Charles.
Not the Devil McMahon.
Yeah, different McMahon. Calgary, Alberta. Been a team since 1945. They've played at McMahon Stadium since 1960. Holds about 35,400 people. Was the Winter Olympic Stadium. We'll get to the Winter Olympics at some point. Because not much, because I haven't watched anything, not even the hockey stuff, to be honest. And it kind of sucks because the NHL players didn't go, so that kind of took out my enthusiasm for watching
I mean,
the stuff. But look,
Olympics don't mean anything.
I know,
Damn.
but for hockey it does. For hockey,
Like, we're
it
not.
does.
Listen, back in the day when there was a village to not be slaughtered, they play hard. Now it's just like, oh, hey, get some sponsorship. You don't even get any kind of like absolution from like debt. Imagine that. Wouldn't that want to make people like, oh, hey, you owe China that much money? Win. We got you.
So. So, the 1988 was the Winter Olympic Stadium, so basically just the opening closing ceremonies. They're also the home of a very cool sounding sports team, the Calgary Dinos, who are part of the U Sports, which is like the Canadian NCAA football. So, Dinos. I don't know why there aren't more dinosaur themed mascots out there. So, I mean, if the Washington Commanders had been cool, they would have gone with the dinosaur theme. I don't know. Calgary Colts.
That's it.
Yeah, but there are no Serbians in football. Calgary Colts, who play in the Canadian Junior Football League. They were also host Calgary Boomers of the North American Soccer League back in '81. They've hosted 5 Grey Cups at the stadium, 2 CFL All-Star games, the Heritage Classic, which is the NHL's Canadian outdoor game between Calgary and Montreal. And they've had concerts there, music festivals, Ozzy Osbourne, all that stuff there. And right now they're proposing to make kind of like a dual, like double stadium with the Calgary Flames, because I think it's the same ownership group as the Flames hockey, to have like a dual facility that's both a hockey arena on one side and a football stadium on the other, which looks interesting from the things, but I don't know. Calgary's had a hard time trying to approve a new stadium for especially the hockey team. We'll see. And that's the Stampeders. Notable. Look, they've. I didn't know this, that Canada has, and look at the xenophobia of Canadians here. They have a most outstanding Canadian award for the best Canadian native / naturalized citizen that plays in the CFL. So you could have a guy win. You could have a guy win an MVP. Yeah, you could have a guy win an MVP, but in case he's not Canadian, they have their own little separate Canadian MVP for just them, which that's xenophobia. That's what I'm calling it. It is. Okay, Canada, right? I've kept an eye on Canada, Charles, all these years. Okay,
you bring the pain to them.
They're not as polite as you think they are. Especially what's going on in Ottawa lately. Ooh, Canadian politics, baby. All right. They've got 8 Grey Cups. Their last one was in 2018. And here are their notable alumni. I only got 2 here. You got Doug Flutie. So there's a big one. And the next guy that I want to talk about. Here we go, Charles. You could say he's a player to remember to forget, but he's also a Gottlieb goon. It's Jeff Garcia.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody. It took a while.
We're sorry.
We're late on this, but whatever. Everybody, he lost the internet for like a day or so. Jeff Garcia from California. went to San Jose State, went undrafted, but got picked up by the San Francisco 49ers. I think that's what most people know him from playing with. So let's see. Let me get this information about this dude. Yeah, quarterback, obviously. Played for the 49ers, the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he was on various practice squads. I think, yeah.
Also infamously bald for majority of his career.
Exactly. 161 touchdowns, 87.5 passer rating, passed for 25,000. Is that right? 25,000 yards? There we go. Yeah, in his NFL career. Okay, a lot better in the CFL. 111 to 52 touchdown interception ratio.
Most undrafted people tend to be.
But he got into a bit of controversy with his comments. So I think Mina Kimes, I think that's the way you pronounce her last name.
Yes. We love you, Mina. Follow us on Twitter. I follow you.
Exactly. Over on ESPN.
One of the only few legitimate analysts.
NFL Live.
Mm-hmm.
She was commenting on Jimmy G, on his performance with the 49ers this postseason, which
Jimmy Guapo
was fruitless, as the 49ers didn't make it back to the Super Bowl. But hey, he wasn't good. He wasn't good. The Niners were getting there in spite of him.
He didn't finish the job.
Exactly. And look, they had a shot. They could have beaten the Rams if they had a slightly better quarterback. That would have been great. But it didn't happen. And so she criticized him. She analyzed what he did, and he sucked.
I think it's the manner. Yeah, or at least that was the meme that we put. I don't know. We get all confused, but
yeah. Essentially,
it's just like he's the guy who owns the class project who doesn't contribute, still gets the A,
huh?
Which I love, by the way, as humor.
But it's such a relatable comment.
It's true.
Everybody's experienced that at some point. And some people have been that at some point. So she made those comments, and then Jeff Garcia hops on to Instagram, I believe.
Yeah.
Hops on an Instagram and was like,
"What is a 50-year-old man having Insta for?"
gotta promote that brand, Charles. Gotta promote that Jeff Garcia brand. Buy some of that Jeff Garcia. I don't know what would Jeff Garcia sell on the side.
Suntan lotion for his bald ass head. There's some athletes I care about that would hate us. I don't care about Jeff Garcia.
I was trying to see if because a lot of athletes will have like their own barbecue sauce or something like that. I'm like, is Jeff Garcia his own barbecue sauce type of guy? No. I have to buy Charles Johnson's barbecue, by the way. Charles Johnson, former catcher, especially with the Marlins, he has a barbecue sauce called Catch That Sauce, and I have yet to buy it. I've been meaning to buy it. I haven't bought it, and I need to buy it. So, and Dontrell Willis, I think, sells the rolls that you can put tobacco in it, but you can put your weed in it too over in California. So I might have to buy that just to have some Dontrell stuff because I love Dontrell. I don't care what he's selling. Anyways, yeah, Jeff Garcia went on over Twitter and then or Instagram and said some things, Charles.
You've never thrown an NFL pass.
Yeah.
That's like some emo kid be like, you don't know what real heartbreak is. I loved you, bro.
So Jeff Garcia,
boy, he is not going to follow us on the Twitter.
No, but I think he's disappeared from social media for quite a bit now.
Well, because he got turned out to be, proven wrong.
So Jeff Garcia, here's the comments. Who the hell? And I'm not going to do this in my Sonic voice. I wish I could. Who the hell is Mina Kimes, and when is the last time she threw a touchdown pass in a game? Never, and all caps with exclamation points, never ever has she taken a snap or can truly understand the ability, the mindset, the physical and mental toughness that it takes to play the QB position or any position in the NFL. The fact that there are people out there given a platform to talk about something that they have never done is hilarious. And that's how you have to look at her. She's a joke. Laughing while crying emoji. So let's just laugh at her and support Jimmy. Root on our Niners to go out and beat the living fuck out of one more team. That's what it takes. She will never know that feeling. Can I get an amen? Peace. Which is kind of funny because Jeff Garcia never knew that feeling. Because, Jimmy G has taken the Niners to the Super Bowl in the past. So, but yeah, peace also with the peace emoji too, the 2 fingers up.
I like how people say peace, like peace on earth, and they just come across as like an utter dick.
Yeah. So that's Jeff Garcia. He said these things, and then people, and of course, people naturally implied that he was being sexist with it.
Well, he is.
And once again, it's an he didn't mention anything about her gender or anything like that, but it's implied, like I said.
But it's an individual attack too. That's the thing with people
like
need
Always
to
Sunny.
realize.
Right? It's the implication.
Yeah, because it's not like he's going and saying all you people need to understand that you've never. If he went and said like how I attack the Twitter masses, which I do, I say y'all ain't tough, but he's not going as so far to say those things. He's going
and how many
directly go to her.
And how many other guys that are out there that you've seen on ESPN throughout the years, even after Jeff Garcia retired, are commenting on these games and being hypercritical or whatever, that also never took a snap.
I'm still trying to figure out how Dan Orlovsky, who was most famous in his career for the safety,
yes,
is on a spot. Is it because he's handsome? I think Jeff Garcia is taking offense to Jimmy G because they had the same initials.
I feel like Dan Orlovsky, he's owned that moment though. He looks at that, he laughs at it. Like people ask, and he knows people are going to ask him about that for the rest of his life. Yeah. Right, much like probably Mark Sanchez with the butt fumble. I don't know if people go up to Brandon Moore is like you're the butt, but but there's plenty of people out there that gosh man, there's a bunch of people who've been analysts.
I mean, Trent Dilfer, he ain't no Steve Young.
I know, but damn it, man, he got a ring. That's the thing. That's the one thing that kind of like he can just kind of be like, I got a ring, but on the backs of Ray Lewis and all those other guys.
Everybody else. Yeah. I just kind of always feel like an analyst should be people who actually bring credibility to the job. But mind you, I also forget one other thing though. Just because you're bad in the pros doesn't mean that you're a bad quarterback, because your body of work as a college athlete led you to get in there too. And I forget that. Yeah. Some talent might have been there to lead you there.
But
it's just.
But it just seemed, it was kind of ridiculous for him to go in that over the top with his thing,
Well, this is also what kind of bothers me a little bit about it. You didn't retire with that team. Your career is not defined fully on that team. Okay, so what's this attachment that you have? You went to the playoffs with the Buccaneers as well. Yeah. And the Eagles. The Eagles are really why you had that resurgence in your career.
He went to 4 Pro Bowls, including one with 2007. Yeah, with the Bucs.
Yeah, I remember because my buddy used to be a huge Buccaneers fan.
All right, so he's from, let me see, Gilroy, California. So I think he's probably been a Niners fan since he was a kid. That's what that.
It's just weird. Like when you fire me for my job, I don't support you. You know what I mean?
This looks like a little bit like a little no-cal area
preference.
Yeah, it seems like he grew up with the Niners. Of course, he played for them. He went to San Jose State. That seems to be there's probably he was being a whiny fan more than anything else. And you made that comment. You just made that comment. So I think that's where it's mostly coming from. And he's I guess one of the lucky enough to have played in the NFL to add that sort of, to make it seem like he's more credible by saying he's never taken a snap But it's still ridiculous. It's still funny. So yeah,
It's quarterback
that's a
couching.
good.
Jeff Garcia, goon.
That's a good. All right, so next one, and this is obviously not going to play well with the potential growth of this show. Mine is
I mean, we're literally burning bridges in this episode. So it don't even
is the government of China again. So we're back, everybody.
Okay,
For the Olympics and the conditions and just the ridiculousness that there's an Olympic Games being held in Beijing, because I don't think of Beijing, China, as a winter destination for people, and I don't know.
I
if
didn't
you
even know Beijing was where we're playing the Olympics because there's no sense to have the Olympics.
So I don't know if you saw this, Charles.
The picture that you sent me?
Of the So and I'm gonna post this on the video version of this. So is this the ski jumping or whatever competition at the Olympic Games? And somebody put Godzilla next to this
Well, it's not accurate.
Godzilla and I think baby Godzilla here. there we go. I think that's Heisei era Godzilla there. Anyways, there's some nerdiness coming out from me. Yeah, so the women's big air freestyle skiing competition. In most other Olympic cities, this would be taking place on a natural mountain of some sort with snow and things like that. But I don't think snow falls in China because of all the damn pollution that's there.
I was going to say nuclear winter.
I feel like the
that's
greenhouse effect has greatly affected the place. So everything seems to be artificial. I feel like this is China's way of saying we can artificially create any sort of thing that we want. Well, they don't have the space because they placed the Winter Olympic skiing competition next to a nuclear power plant, and even had one of the smokestacks there with the Olympic logo on the side. It's I think this is the antithesis of the Olympic spirit for the Winter Olympics, especially because all of these competitions are usually outdoors in the elements. Like this, the Summer Olympics is all about whatever arenas and stadiums. The few are very outdoorsy, aside from like any biking or those triathlons or the marathon competitions and whatnots, and the rowing stuff. But aside from that, everything else is like at an arena or a stadium of some sort. But here, like this is ridiculous. And I haven't watched a single minute of this, and then and then the other thing was the Olympic food that is being served over there.
Growth hormones?
No. Well, Charles, I don't know if you've seen this.
I'm looking at it right now. What the fuck?
So I don't know. There's some very, very small spare ribs, a few noodles there. I think those are the potatoes in the middle. I don't know what that gruel is on the left side there. And then people are trying to figure out what the top right thing is there. It looks like it's some sort of small bird, but it may not be a chicken.
Turducken.
As sure as hell I know turducken. That might be a pigeon of something.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That is not some sort of domesticated animal. That is for sure. So that's just an image of the food that's being served over there, and it's bad. I mean, even here, this mountain here, they've artificially put fake snow because it's not snowing there. It's not cold. And Russia had the Winter Olympics in Sochi, and they had to kind of improvise a lot of things, but it was still in Russia. You think of winter, you think of Russia. especially historically. I mean, come on, Napoleon couldn't do it. Hitler couldn't do it over in Russia. Like you just think about that. But Sochi was definitely, it was like a summer city that they made into a winter city. But yeah, and then very off color pieces of shrimp there. The rice, I'm sure that's like white sticky rice, so it's not flavorful like Hispanic rice. I guess those eggs might be fine. But those mushrooms, I do not trust those mushrooms. And that corn, I don't know. I don't like that shade of yellow. And it might be all of that horrendous lighting that's in China as well. Look, guys, can I have a criticism about capitalism, but things aren't going well in China for these athletes. So, I'm sure the U.S. is fine with their stuff. I'm sure they're pumping in their own meals of some sort. But yeah, I'm hey, we're on a list. I understand we're on a list.
We're not gonna get canceled though. It's okay. We stand with South Park.
We're on a list, and whoever in China is listening to this,
thank you for listening to us.
Thank you.
We're obviously that important.
Thank you, and start making plans to escape the country because I feel like
we ain't going to China.
yeah. So, and we have been listened to in China. I have proof of it. So, yeah. Oh man, where are we now? All right, Charles. Let's do our middle segment. All right.
All right. Let's do it.
Word from our non-sponsors, people, places, things, concept, what have you that we've been enjoying over the last week. Okay, Charles, I'm rambling on. I might as well keep on rambling because I think you know where I'm going to go with this. All right, so past weekend. Oh boy. So last Friday, I finally used my Best Buy gift card. Had about $11 on it, Charles. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so it's $11. Right. Charles doesn't pay full price for anything. And
no, he doesn't.
So I paid for a brand new video game. Just came out. Pokemon Legends. I don't know what the pronunciation of Arceus. Look, it's changed. Okay, it's changed over the years. It was Arceus before in Pokemon Battle Revolution on the Wii. Now it's Arceus. I have no idea. I think it's a regional thing. I don't know how the Japanese say it, but regardless, Arceus, Arceus, I don't know, but it's basically Pokemon God, and it came out on the Switch. Pokemon Company, Nintendo, what have you, it's on there. And yeah, I poured over the course of 3 playthroughs, Charles, in 3 nights, or 2 nights and a day, 15 hours already.
God damn.
15 hours. I realized I had a problem. I didn't play yesterday. I kept to my promise that I wouldn't play, but I'm playing tonight. I'm playing tonight after the show. This is the Pokemon game I've been waiting for, Charles. This is what I wanted Sword and Shield to be.
Yes.
I feel like this is finally the step, and hopefully this kind of bleeds into the mainline series because this is technically a spin-off. But I feel like this is the first steps to this series actually being on par with a Monster Hunter. Some people even compare Dark Souls to it. And of course, all the other open world games, they got Breath of the Wild, especially with the art style. And look, graphically, you can look at it and be like, okay, this probably could have ran on the Wii. I doubt this could have been on the GameCube just by the size of it. But on the Wii, I feel like this could have been, because Blade Chronicles is on the Wii. Yeah, I feel like that's what you compare this to.
But JRPGs are also very background based.
Yeah, exactly. But Pokemon RPGs are very basic. Yeah, and they're not like other traditional JRPGs, especially story wise. With especially.
When's the last time you had a compelling story?
Yeah, we really haven't. Not since I would say maybe the third.
Which one was the one where you went against Red? Was that?
That's the original. Oh no, no,
Well,
no,
not
that no,
red.
gold and silver, gold and
Yeah,
silver.
that had to be the only one just for the shock
Uh,
factor.
oh no, the gold and silver was like epic. Even the remake, but it was just like, yeah, oh, you go, and then you go to the original one, and then like the end game for that you know the end game for that afterwards, the post game stuff where they make you go to like this mountain full of the most powerful Pokemon, and you get to the end and you face the champion from the last game. Like you can't beat that. And well, they still haven't, to be honest.
And
But
mind you, I don't hate Sword or Shield. You did. I thought it was fine.
I
But
didn't
all
hate
Pokemon
it.
games are the same to me.
I didn't hate it. I was just I got too hyped. I
You were hyped.
I,
I
I got
mean, look, they kind of dicked us a little bit because, like, oh, we're not going to include every Pokemon. That was the biggest dinger.
Yeah,
But
well, I didn't mind that, to be honest, but because for me it's just cat, and I knew they would update it. Like this is not like before, like it was gonna update and they're gonna add more, so it wasn't a big thing. But here it was just like what can I get a Darkrai in this game? Looks like it, because I see a little thing there. But man, this game, it hooked me already. It starts off really slow, like the tutorials. It's too much. It's too much. Too wordy too. Like there's too many pauses there. But once that you finally get out into the field, they let you go. They let you go. And Charles, I'm not pushing the story along whatsoever. Like I'm taking as much time as possible to capture as many. The game is structured. You're this kid. You fall through a mysterious hole in the sky because that's the easiest way to kind of retcon series and make yeah, there's a multiverse, Charles, come on now. I know how much you hate the multiverse.
technically, there are like two different kinds of Ash Ketchums.
Well, technically Pokemon has a multiverse.
Yeah.
It was established like in, I think, Black and White, one of those, or when they had the Mega Evolutions, one of those games. Anyways, I didn't play those,
I
but
think that's X and Y.
yeah, something like that. What? So there's already a Pokemon multiverse. Well, I fell through one of these holes, ended up back in time, and I'm a Pokemon researcher, and I have to catch them all, and I have to catch them multiple times, and I have to observe them doing certain things, doing certain moves, catching them at certain times. And there's side missions too, plenty of side missions, kind of do requests for people, much like other normal RPGs. But
Well, Pokemon really hardcore with their games lately.
but the big thing here is the gameplay. It's the catching and the battle mechanics in this game. It's much more streamlined and much more seamless. It feels more natural. You're out in the field. You see a Pokemon. You can sneak up on it, kind of get it from behind. Take that out of context. Rule 34, plenty of that for Pokemon if you want it. So you could do that and capture them from behind and just throw a Pokeball at them and see if you can get them. Or you can choose to battle them. Or they'll see you, get pissed off at you, and choose to battle you regardless. Like there's different ways that you can do this. You can dodge out of the way because Pokemon can hurt you, the actual person, in this game, which is also a new change. That before, like you really couldn't get hit by anything, but here you can actually not die, but get knocked out by Pokemon. You, the trainer, and just that alone changes everything. You can choose to battle some. You may have to battle some. And even the battling is more seamless. It's not like, oh, the whole entire game stops. You have an introduction where the Pokemon, oh, this Pokemon appeared, and then you throw out yours, and then you sit there and wait and choose the moves. Here, it's a lot faster, and you don't have all those like, cutscenes and was it wipes and everything to get in and out of stuff. It's all in the world. So. And that just got me, man. I am addicted to it. It kind of keeps you going. You don't stop and start. You don't stop and start. You just keep going. And I recommend this to people, especially if you want something new from Pokemon. And I think it's not like basic starter Pokemon, which is like Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu. But I think it's probably, if you don't want to get into the whole deep dive of the regular Pokemon series, which is like battling and That's the main thing for the regular ones, to actually battle and get better and train your team and do all, especially the advanced analytics stuff of Pokemon. I can't get into that. But here, this gets into. I love catching them. That's my thing. That's my thing. So yeah, promo code. I have a problem.
He does. He
Yeah, I do.
does.
I really do.
Yeah, it's expected. I'll be like a holiday game for me, come like next
Yeah,
Christmas or
and
something. Because
it's a good. I think this is a good show game as well. You can
yeah,
mindlessly just do stuff.
well, the thing is, I would probably make this more non-show for the sole reason that it's been forever since I've had a game that I actually want a Pokemon game that I want to hear the background noise
Hmm.
and the animals because you don't get that per se with
Yeah, and remember,
some of the
it's
Pokemon
it's
stuff.
not as it's not so deep where but they do have some elements where you
But you know what I mean. I want the
yeah.
aesthetics. I want the
Yeah,
atmosphere.
exactly. Yeah, you do have some elements where you can like listen for a certain Pokemon. You're like, oh shit, where did I hear that from? You know,
Yeah.
and you just go
Whereas
into that.
you could be like me, who is dying multiple times at Bayonetta, but wondering if it's because I'm trash or is it because of the fact that I'm not all in on a thing that really does require you to be all in half the time.
Yeah,
Um, but no, it's going to be there. I typically get Pokemon games. They're the best thing to play while I'm listening to audiobooks. Actually,
that's true.
you can do your shooters, but it's
Yeah,
so chill.
I was while I was playing this, I was catching up on Archer, and I finally finished it. And the last episode of the last season really got to me.
Oh
Rest,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
rest in peace, Jessica Walters. Oh God. But there's that, and then I think American Dad has a few episodes that I need to catch up on, so I've been doing that.
I guess I'm up.
Yep.
So I'll go another game because I don't like to
Mm-hmm.
sponsor games unless I beat them, and I
Indeed.
think I might have mentioned it before, but I didn't think I wanted to deep dive. So, um, I, this has been a weird last several months of gaming, man, because I told myself, hey, I'm not going to get games that are so like sequence and style, genre wise, but
Mm-hmm.
yet here I am. I went to Deathloop, and then we end up
Mm-hmm.
getting Returnal, time
Yep.
of things within like a couple months of each other too. And then we're like, oh, I went through the Mario love affair, then I did Crash, and I'm like, but I think I just gravitate towards games that are to my style, and I love me some good storyline stuff. See the action adventures. I love me good um, platformers.
Mm-hmm.
RPGs are hit or miss sometimes for me because JRPGs, I'm like, okay, part of me wants to play Tales of Arise, part of me doesn't want to invest 40 hours. And then some RPGs are just very piss poor with their skill tree that it's like a joke.
Yeah.
And beat 'em ups, they're in between. I'm looking at Sifu though, but I don't want to pay $40 for it for the PS5. But as you know, Horizon Zero it's not even Zero Dawn anymore. It's Horizon Forbidden West. Is coming out in
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks. But there was a time period where before Horizon was on my horizon, I was playing Returnal and the rage was so strong. And we love Returnal. It was a non-sponsor. I gave it a shout out. I loved it. It was great. Play it. It's not as hard as you think it is once you figure it all out. But I had to go in an in-between game. And this was on sale for Black Friday. I got it for Christmas as a gift from my folks. I'm like, all right, go from there. And you need a little wholesome in life. I deal with a lot of heavy stuff in my line of work, heavy stuff in my life. My neck hurts like every day. I'm old. I'm busted. I contemplate my existence. I too want to be like the main character in Pokemon Arceus, fall through a trap and go back in time, but you can't. You got to go forward, not backwards. But you always have to remember your humble beginnings and something about humble beginnings. When I think about the PS3, there was the instigated new franchise created. It wasn't a Jack and Daxter. It wasn't a Sly Cooper. It was Little Big Planet. And on the PS5, what do I get for
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, Francisco? I got Sackboy, Big
Mm-hmm.
Adventure. And it is wholesome, and it is cute, and it's an obvious, not ripoff, but homage to your Crash Bandicoots, to your Marios. They even have a secret level world once you beat the game like Mario does. And it is hard. And I was like, okay, it was fine. But I popped in like 15 hours of it. It's beautiful, very pretty to look at, very wholesome. They have some actual actors for the voice actors. Richard Grant voicing Vex, Dawn French voicing Scarlet. And then look at that face. Look at that face. Isn't that just cute? So you can basically the story of it is Vex causes the uproar in Craft World, Imagisphere, all these fun things. I'm like, okay, because I've only played Little Big Planet. I played them all, but I've never like beat them all. They're just very much like I would chill to that music like 12 years ago, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gorgeous on your PS4, PS5. I played on the PS5. has good haptic feedback for the controller. Man, my PS5 is getting a lot of props lately with the games. I played so many games, it's weird. You make it think like I don't have a life. Um, it's just very wholesome. It's needed. Typical standard hero stuff. There's some trials that you go from there. You do a little modes, and what's great about it is you unlock a lot of costumes. So Sackboy doesn't literally have to look like a voodoo doll. Instead, what you have is attires. I was like a dragon for one of them. That was really cool. I had like an Elvis impersonation. Levels are kind of ingenious in time. Some a little aggravating. You don't really die a lot unless you miss certain things. But there's some levels that they do are just music based. So when I say music based, it's not that you have the soundtrack made by the composer. It's like, oh hey, Uptown Funk plays in the background, or Britney Spears' Toxic plays in the background. It was a great moment. I think they had a Earth, Wind, and Fire song as well. It
Huh.
was cool as hell because you're not expecting it, and you're like, oh, am I gonna get more of this stuff? Whatever they paid for their licensing
Yeah, it's
licensing for
Sony.
Sumo Sheffield, and
Sony,
it's
they
Sony.
maybe they yeah they could be. I think they have Columbia Records, right? So yeah.
Yeah, and you can play with your friends, multiplayer, random people. I did not engage in that because I think I would just lose my shit if I had to play with other people. Though, I have multiple controllers. Hey, come over, we'll play, go from there. Just a lot of fun, about 15 hours for me to kind of go from it. So it's definitely worth the time and the investment. And you feel good, you feel wholesome. You might be a sack boy, but at the end of it all, you'll remember that you are a sack man, and it's okay. Definitely recommend it. Where you have it on PS4, PS5. I do want to see a sequel. I do want to see a sequel. You can get me on a platformer. You know this. Like, what I do? I rebought all the Mario's. Like, yeah, sure,
Yeah, it
because that's an
reminds me
old
of
time.
what if Yoshi's Woolly World was a 3D platformer, you know?
Yeah, and I did pick up Yoshi as it is with Yoshi's Crafted Adventure. So that's actually what it feels more akin to as opposed to being a 2D5. It's a full in 3D with the humbleness of it. I like it. I like it. I don't even know if I would trade it in too. It would be one of those things. I'm weird. I haven't been trading in a lot of stuff lately, but that's also partially because there hasn't been any big games yet. So what's the point of me trading in stuff to sit on it at this point? Let it depreciate a little bit. I don't care. But enjoyable, very fun, very cool, good for the family, good for the friends, good for the roommate, good for couples night, good for whatever. Or if you just want to decompress as you prepare for Horizon Forbidden West, because I know this can steal 60 hours of my time.
Mm,
So we love it.
damn.
Promo code wholesome.
Yeah. All right. So, gosh, so this kind of is getting me into kind of like a gaming talking mood, but those
Nintendo
Sony
Direct tomorrow.
those Sony games that are being put on PC. My God.
I mean,
Now that they're finally making this push, like God, I already played through God of War 1. We're on to God of War 2. I will get through God of War 2 eventually. You know this. But I just
mhm.
need to get the Pokemon out of my system. So I just need to put in those 50 hours, Charles, and I'll be good. I'll be good.
Nintendo played a dangerous game though because they had the Brilliant Pearl remake, right?
Yeah.
And Shiny Diamond, or whatever it's called, and then you're gonna go Arceus, and it's like, man, you spaced it out without enough time frame. 2 months.
Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow because they might have a bunch of stuff coming up.
Well,
Uh,
it causes me to skip Shining Diamond or Brilliant Pearl, and because I didn't play those, I didn't do the handhelds. That shit hurts my neck.
I feel like they got because I think a lot of people don't realize how big the DS was. It's the second best selling video game system of all time.
Mhm.
So that nostalgia, I think they got enough people from that era that are now adults playing that they're willing to throw that out there along with this because not everybody. That wasn't my generation of Pokemon. I played the remakes of Gold and Silver during that generation of Pokemon, which was
Yeah.
great. I loved it, and very pricey game now, and I'm loving that I'm sitting on it. But regardless, that's yeah. I think they just Pokemon just makes so much money. It doesn't really matter when they release games at this point. They make
But you
so
can
much
get
damn
more.
money.
And also, though, Shining
Yeah,
Pearl and
but
Brilliant Diamond are going to get more money for the kids,
yeah, exactly.
especially with the chibi style that they
Yeah,
have.
yeah. So they'll just sit on it, wait. Eventually, I'm not gonna get it. I really don't have any incentive to get it. I'm waiting to see what they do with stuff now. I want to see some more stuff like they just did with Legends. I'm hoping now they do like a Legends Johto. I'd go absolutely nuts for that.
Hmm.
All right, do some story with Ho-Oh or whatever. Oh, I'd be into that.
I'm gonna tell you what I want:
Hmm.
Pokemon Stadium 3.
Huh. Yeah, it seemed like
But they have Pokemon Unite, but it's not
s-
the same. That's
y-
a MOBA,
no,
man.
that's a no, yeah, that's Pokemon League of Legends or whatever. So
Which my friend says is a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah, but I can't devote time to that. But Pokemon, yeah, I felt like Sword and Shield.
Did we even play Snap? Because that's the thing too. We're not even just talking
I
about
didn't play
the
Snap.
re-releases. You had
And I
Snap
was
in
excited for
August,
that.
and well, you had Snap in August, and then you had Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, or
Charles,
whatever
the
to call it, and now Arceus.
the
It's
backlog, my
but
dude.
that's the thing. But that's the thing, though. Like that's three different
Yeah,
offsets in a span of 4 months, and it's like I want to play Snap because that's gonna be a perfect chill. That's literally the definitive like. Besides Diablo 3, and Dreams, that's the definitive show game, is it
hmm
not?
yeah, yeah. It's a good one. Uh, yeah, I wanted Snap, but I just couldn't
I'm
get
not
it.
paying $60 for it.
That was one. That was one. I was hoping to get it later on. Uh, Christmas money, all kinds of stuff. But and I'm not gonna buy it digitally. I'm no longer like full retail releases. I'm just getting them physically. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna get
because you're already thinking about how you're gonna pay it out.
exactly. Look, dude, I like I mentioned this. I sold a demo disc for $45. I mean, that I got for free for like a mail-in thing. And yeah, man, yeah, sit on that for 20 years, and then come back to me. Okay, but where was I going with this? I lost my
Pokemon,
thought. Yeah,
Sackboy,
Sack
remind
Boy,
you.
just the stuff and just the backlog, man. And look, this is a gaming centric episode. I think me and Charles have had this kind of bubbling up with the normal
Well,
sports show. But
we'll give them some pauses. MLB is still on strike. We'll talk about Trevor
yeah,
Bauer when there's
there's
actually
real
stuff.
yeah, there's
NBA, we
nothing.
love
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler. The trades
yeah,
suck.
the Heat
All the
are being
trades sucked.
overlooked. The Heat are being overlooked as we
NHL,
know.
whatever. NFL,
Sacramento Kings are still awful.
NFL. Name your prediction right now, so we can get over. So we can go to things that matter.
My heart says Bengals, but my brain says Rams.
Whereas my heart says Rams, my brain says Bengals because the
Really?
Rams don't prep out. They don't.
Mm,
And I want Aaron Donald to get that
I
damn.
want, and I really want the narrative of they're hosting their Super Bowl and then they still lose at their home.
Whereas I want also the narrative of like this man went from an 0-16 team, had to leave because he knew he could be better, and he was better.
Mm,
He literally pulled the Marino move that Marino couldn't pull.
yeah,
He did.
yeah,
At the end of the day, they played as long for the same franchise. Marino
yeah,
went, what, 15 years?
yeah. If Marino had demanded a trade, at least 5 years before he went out, right?
Yeah.
But I think it was more of the era that he was in too. Like John Elway didn't leave Denver, and I don't think
But John
like.
Elway also didn't want to go play for the Colts, so that's not necessarily
Well, I know, but that was like a
bargaining.
beginning thing. But I'm saying like start to finish, like him. It was him and Elway. Those are the two
Yeah.
comparisons right
And
there.
I
So,
don't think he
and
wanted to
Elway
leave
wasn't
the.
going anywhere to go find and win a Super Bowl anywhere else, even though he had more shots at it than Marino.
This is true. I mean, you go, what, 5 times, 3 times you had failed.
Yeah,
Elway is the ultimate um,
yeah.
payoff. So you want Stafford to be the new Elway. Well, would he even be? I'm trying to think of what quarterback literally had to leave their team to succeed and make it for the first one. I
There's
can't think of any. I think that would be its
there's a
own
hockey.
narrative.
I got a hockey one. Ray Bork. He was with Boston all those years, and then he finally gets traded to Colorado, and they win it all, and that's his only championship. So then he retired that same year. So that's a hockey one that I can give you. It's always the go to for that type of stuff. Riding out into the sunset.
Yeah. Well, Stafford never ran into the sunset
No,
at
he's not
all.
going to.
But and then the also narrative for the Rams too is just like OBJ, just be like Cleveland needs to be bad. There's like every odd year, it's like okay, I want to see him succeed, and then they just fall back big time. How much would it be that a guy, whether or not he caused the drama or not, there was drama,
Hmm.
and he ends up just fulfilling showing because what this does too is that whether or not they win the ring at the end of the day, it makes sure that OBJ doesn't have to go the way of Antonio Brown and just bounce the teams on the minimum contract. He's still going to get his money paid. And isn't it just a stinker where that season just it went bad after he left? In between, then OBJ goes and he's still learning, getting comfortable. I don't know, but I don't care about football enough. I'll get
Yeah.
hyped for it because I'm not going to devote our show to
Ooh.
something that people are going to go
But I
to.
know what we can devote our show to. Hold on, let me get something else out of the way. Let me see. NHL, where are we? Oh, the hockey. They're back from the All Star break. I think the Metropolitan Division won the
Hmm.
All Star Game tournament, and Claude Giroux from the Flyers was the All Star Game MVP. So there's that, and then I forgot who won each of the competitions, and then we had the breakaway challenge, which is basically like the dunk contest for the NHL, and the guy who should have won didn't. Zegras, I think I sent you the tweet of the guy who did a dodgeball tribute
Yeah.
and went in there wearing the uniform and was blindfolded and had dodgeballs being thrown at him by mascots, and he still made a goal, backhanded, one-handed. Like it was amazing. It was fantastic. It was beautiful. But yeah, a lot of people were disappointed in Vegas's hosting of the All Star Game. They thought it was going to be much more,
Vegasy.
yeah, and people kind of like they hated it. I think Machine Gun Kelly did the pregame song before the game started. Like people hated that.
Oh,
But
there you go. That's what we're hyped about the Super Bowl for. We're hyped for basically, white Let's Go Brandon's being very uncomfortable watching the halftime show, just as they were uncomfortable for Lady
oh,
Gaga.
this year's the ultimate year for that, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot
There's
about that.
all the seasoning on the chicken for this halftime. Turtlenecks and chains, baby. Stephen Ross is gonna be rolling in his $1 million. Ooh, ooh, come with that heat. I'm not a Dolphins fan, so I don't care. I can throw that shade.
Uh, okay, let me just get. I don't think the Dolphins are racist. Out of all the things I criticize the Dolphins for, I don't think they're racist.
Yeah,
Because
but this is the fun narrative that I'm gonna run with.
I think it's all the other 28. No, actually,
All right, so
hold on, wait, hold on.
Jerry Jones is
Lovey
getting
Smith
creeped
got
out.
hired by the Texans. Now, do you? I'm putting on my tinfoil hat here. Do you believe that they hired him just so that they could squash Brian
I
Flores'
think
lawsuit?
nobody wanted to go coach for the Houston Texans that were first-time coaches.
That's
And
true
then
as well.
Lovey's just like,
And look,
man,
I love Lovey.
sure.
I love Lovey.
Yeah.
Okay, right? I mean, he took
He just came out of nowhere in this hire.
terrible Bears team to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman.
Rex
as quarterback.
Grossman.
Okay,
And then had to endure Jay Cutler for a
and
little bit.
overrated
And
Brian
then,
Urlacher. Yeah.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
ooh, man, that's that Jason Thomas love coming in on you on that.
Zach Thomas.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Zach Thomas, sorry.
Yeah,
But
Jason
yeah,
Taylor,
man,
but yeah.
you just did it. I got them all fused into
I'm
it.
saying
Man.
I've seen the numbers. I'm not.
Are you
look,
saying that Urlacher was able to do what he do because people were,
as a
were
guy
scared to
who
throw on
used to be
Peanut
a
Tillman?
Dolphins fan, according to the lore of this show, that's the one thing I can get behind is that Zach Thomas is being snubbed repeatedly for the Hall of Fame. So yeah, and Brian Urlacher was more overrated than anything else.
I don't hate your take because that defense was stacked from ass to elbows.
Mm-hmm.
They had Tank Williams, Peanut Tillman, all these other guys, to which allowed Urlacher to really do his stuff. You know, why did this man just absorb a child?
Yeah.
I'm at like the end boss of Bayonetta. So,
But anyways,
I've been
Lovey,
in and
welcome
out.
back.
Yeah.
Welcome
A
back.
conspiracy
I don't
tinfoil
wanna-
theory.
yeah.
Nobody wanted to work, and Lovey's like, sure,
That-
because he
yeah.
wasn't. It was not like he was
That's a
never
good
going to
devil
get a chance
advocate
again.
argument back. Is like, well, nobody wants to play coach for the Texans. You know.
Why is that little girl's head sticking out of this man's chest, Francisco? What am I playing?
It's been.
I played two. I never finished one.
You never played. Oh, you
I
never
never
played
finished one.
Oh, you
I
never played
back
one.
in the day when we rented video games.
Oh, okay.
I got like a quarter of the way through. This is from being in
Oh.
the edition of the second one. When you got it for the Switch, you got 1 and 2 together.
Yeah, I got both together and I played through them sequentially. So, okay. All right.
So now this man just has a child sticking out of his chest, and I'm like, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, love it. We'll see. Hopefully they have.
I can hopefully get through tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get like an actual day and like, hey, this is coming out. Here we go. All right. What was I going on? So yeah, Lovey Smith. Yeah, okay, we talked about that. NFL. Okay, Super Bowl. Here we go. All right. So there was a question about what food? Because man, we're talking about food and video games. What
That's
food
us.
items need to be at the Super Bowl parties that people
Oh
are going to
man,
be coming
is
back
this
to?
gonna be our equivalent of like you don't need what was the thing that the guy hated? My boy
Oh,
Matthew
mac and
Judon.
cheese.
Yeah, you don't need Mac. Oh, this is gonna be a continuous thing every time. Do it, Francisco.
Okay,
Slaughter him.
so I was listening to the Hoffman and Crowder show, and they love talking about food on that show. Crowder's a vegan now, and they make fun of him.
What?
Yes. Uh,
He must be a health condition because that man.
I don't know. He said that he was doing it with his wife. I'm not sure, but either way, he's full on. He's doing it. Um, they talk about food often, right? Every guest that they have on, they'll get into a discussion about that. And now they're talking about Super Bowl parties because a lot of people are, especially this year, they're gonna get back to actually doing them. And I'm going back to West Palm Beach to go watch the Super Bowl this year. So that's another reason why I'm desperate to keep losing weight because, man, those trips back home.
They get you.
I'm
Mom Parts looks at you. It's like Nino.
I'm a freeloader through and through. I'll tell you that much. But my sister's house, and they just order in the stuff a lot of
That's
times.
right. Your sister just like destroys food.
Yeah, just they're ordering that stuff, and that doesn't bode well for me. But she also makes this fantastic cheese dip with the bits of sausages inside of it. Like, oh my god, it is heavenly, and a little bit of a kick of spice in there. So I'm really looking forward to that. And there's another dip that she makes with beans that I'm looking forward to as well. I'm hoping she makes that for the Super Bowl this year. Because and look, we have the staples. Got the hot dogs and the burgers. Okay, always have those staples. I don't think we do ribs. I wish we did.
Who does ribs? That's so messy.
I know, but it feels.
I mean, I don't hate it. I've just never seen it in a sequence.
Yeah, most people have but it's really finger food season, Charles. Right?
That's true.
I think it's finger food season.
Depends.
Now, pizza?
Pizza's a neutral thing. Pizza's when it's a big group of people. And because I remember when I had one coworker, her and her husband had all that stuff from back in the day. And damn it, I was talking, I got hit. And there would be this is like 10, 12 years ago, where they would have you would gamble, obviously, because you'd be playing with the spread. And then you just order pizza for people that are more than 10, I feel. If it's under or over, a little bit under that, you don't go pizza. And if it's more than that, pizza's more economical because it's a lot to cook for people that many that are in the double digits, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing that a lot of people, aside from barbecue, I don't know if anybody's actually really cooking out that much for like, and I'm talking about like having the tray with like the potato salad.
Some people love their football, man. I live in a house where no one wants
like,
to
I
sports
get it if your team is in the Super Bowl, like, especially that's a momentous occasion. You gotta go all out for sure.
I just think of Ace Ventura, and they get the little football cookies.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
yeah,
but I need this to happen.
Go to Publix right now. Go to Publix right now, and you'll see it right there, front and
Laces
center.
were out. The laces were in.
They got the chips. They got all the Tostitos. They got the salsas out there. Like that's all out there for sure.
Somewhere there's somebody making a Cincinnati Bengals
platters.
cookie.
Yeah, the party platters. So and of course the cupcakes with the little rings for the kids that they
Does anybody really buy those though?
Oh, people buy those, man. Especially
would you be inclined to?
Well, especially with the kids. I eat them. I've eaten them every time I go to my sister's place and they have the Super Bowl cupcakes out there. I
You're a freeloader, Francisco.
Yeah, because it's the only time I'm gonna have cupcakes, Charles. It really is. Like I'm not lying. I really, but that's so. So you need your finger foods. You need your party platters.
Pizza rolls. Tostino pizza rolls are on the table.
Tostino's
If
pizza.
you have kids there, you put it in the bake. I'm telling you.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, seriously. My sister does all the time when my nephew and his siblings come over, and
Interesting.
yeah, I get it.
And going to your point about pizza, I feel like you get pizza if you're right. If you're planning a lot of people, and especially if you're planning a lot of people and you want to be safe with regards to taste buds and things like that, right? Because
Yeah.
we might have Andrew coming on over, and he doesn't like the spicy stuff, you know. So he might not be going into the dips and the stuff.
Do you think Andrew thinks pizza rolls are hot? This is gonna be the running joke. He probably eats
No,
them
no,
like
no, no.
crazy, but we're gonna be
I
holding
think
this forever.
there's a difference between hot and spicy, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference. Okay,
Do you think he thinks pizza rolls are spicy?
no, no.
This is gonna be the running joke that I have until we end this show
Until he
forever.
comes back and
Yeah.
we have him actually try out meals of some sort with some sort of exotic, I don't know, ethnic exotic food to him.
Yeah, I feel like if we say ethnic, it makes it seem like Andrew's racist, and it's not.
No,
just,
it's
you
not.
know,
But
it's just the man
we
has
just-
been highly sheltered.
yeah, we're trying to
with
broaden
food.
his horizons. And look, it's not like I haven't been one, but I go out there, I try. Look, I've had a lot of Jewish foods because my mom worked for a Jewish family and would bring on. I've had latkes, I've had the matzahs and all that stuff. Like so, don't like I've given that culture a chance. It's time he reciprocate this time. It's too bad I'm not joining him for as much of it, to be honest. Because look, you know me. Like if it wasn't for this diet, because I'm adamant this year with trying to lose this weight, because I want to eat like a pig again, I want to eat like you, Charles. Now I know I've been making you love
You
me
don't
for
want
quite
to.
like, but
You don't want to. I'm literally taking one for the team all the damn time, man.
oh man, but I want
I'm getting fast this week, by the way. I'm gonna get red velvet,
yes.
and you know it's gonna come, and I'm just gonna put that
those
ish on there.
waffles. Ah.
I have to try the red velvet, man. We know this.
Oh my god, I can't.
I don't have time to go to JoJo's tomorrow. I got to be
I
in
need
two
to
counties for court hearings.
I switched it up today. I had a smoothie.
Okay.
And Fritos. One bag of Fritos. One bag of Fritos.
It's the chips that I got concerns on. And I love chips, don't get me wrong, but I know how easy those. I'd rather buy you a big bag and have you like figure out your own stuff as opposed to get the multiple small bags. Because that's like me. I have an office stash of like cosmic brownies that the girls at work buy for me because they just know that I'm terrible.
That's another reason why I'm glad I don't work with a ton of other people, because there's always food coming in from the Texans and stuff like that. My sister works at her clinic, and they're bringing in the treats, and they're all Latinos, so that ain't diet.
Oh yeah, no.
No, we're gonna get those bocaditos.
They're coming in with the full ass meals.
Oh my god! All right. But all those pastelitos coming in, that's dangerous, man. It is dangerous. I'm glad and Andrew even tried to get me to see if I could buy a mini fridge for my office, and I can't. I cannot have something that can house food in my office. It's too dangerous. No way. I can't do it. But hold on. What is this? I got a text. Anyways, I'll answer that later. Gosh, where was I going with this?
Meals at a Super Bowl.
This whole yeah. Okay, so
Tostino's pizza.
yeah, I just haven't thought of that. That's a different angle. And the pizza for sure. You need your Tostitos chips. You need to have them now.
Yeah,
Charles,
you need a version of dips too. Yeah.
Now, Charles, are you? Do you go for the classic style, or are you the scoops?
All right, human beings are fucking nasty. Excuse my French, but that would be the one time the curse big. You better give me the scoops because I've seen people with the scoops. less chance of fingers in the dip. It's the same reason why I couldn't go to like Golden Corral with the chocolate
The
lava
chocolate
mountain
fountain, yeah.
because I see some nasty ass kid
Oh
coughing,
my
getting their hand in
god.
there. You think those old men they got stable hands? Them old ladies, you think they got the stable hands?
They,
I wouldn't even. Yeah, I don't let people like. I don't know how I was spoon fed as a baby if I didn't spit that back at my mother. That kind of thing. I'm like, I don't want that germs and stuff.
they,
So with the scoops, at least you know that if there's any sauce on your fingers, is because it's the residue of the corner.
mm-hmm.
And the problem is too is there might be smaller, but scoops don't break because
Yeah.
depending on the Tostitos that you buy, because there's some people that just want straight up corn chips. Some people are cheap. Some people get the Dollar Tree stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then some people get the Tostitos seasoned, and it'll go from there. Or you be a super heathen like I am and get turn your head away and get the Doritos Cool Ranch and scoop that like a true heathen. What's the difference? What is the difference, Francisco?
It's a flavored chip that you're adding more to, I guess.
And it's the Cool Ranch is the corn chip style. Like
and it is structurally more sound than the regular Tostitos chips.
It's not like I'm mixing the nacho cheese, man.
Because the normal Tostitos chips break off pretty easily. Now they're not like the Chili's chips, which are basic, like those things just snap when you breathe on them.
Yeah,
But
they're Mr. Glass.
yeah, but the Tostitos ones still are also. And it's actually pretty smart to get for these if you want some good dip. Get some of that chili dip from Chili's for the chips. The bean ones with the beans.
Never, ever, ever. If you're using dip, ever buy pre-made queso. It never tastes the same. It never tastes good. Cheddar spread is vastly different, but I've always, even when I was like eating chips and queso at home, because there was a dark period in my life where that was love.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
You have to make it handmade. Yeah, buffalo dip as well.
In the slow cooker. Get that.
You know what? I could say buffalo queso dip is kind of overrated because you can't really taste the chicken because the queso like cuts it up too much. It's the same way of how you get crab and queso that we talked about yesterday. But you never have store-bought queso. Absolutely refuse it.
Yeah, like I mean Tostitos has them. They have their own
It's not the
brand
same.
of it. Yeah, but I'm saying store bought. I would get at least a restaurant from a restaurant or something. Just order that in. They made it that day.
This is another thing. If it's a party of 4 or under, you can always just buy food, like order chicken wings or something from Rue's Room or JoJo Wings.
The Wingstop has been calling out to me, Charles. Like I can't.
Never still have it. There's one by Fort Pierce that I could go to, but why would I cheat on JoJo's or Fats? Because at least I know I can get waffles with my damn ish.
Oh God, supporting local businesses. Yeah, God,
Pretzels. I think pretzels are a good neutral party bringer for anything. Anything.
I'm not big on pretzels. I mean, I don't mind pretzels, but I'm just not big on them.
Well, I'm talking about like a whole decor. Like if I have any event for work or if I go to usually if I go to people's houses for stuff, I bring Publix cookies because y'all always need dessert. There's always a lacking of dessert. I feel
Super Bowl is not really a dessert type of thing because most people are drunk off their ass by the end of the game. They're not really
man.
And unlike me, when I crave sweets when I when I drink alcohol. That seems to be my thing. I get tired and I want sweets. That's my thing. And it's probably because I'm getting tired. I need a sugar rush to keep me up. That's probably the reason why. Like other people, go crazy and beat people up. Other people are a little too happy and go out into the streets. Me, I want some damn ice cream. That's what I want. Yeah, but Super Bowl is not really aside from those cupcakes that I told you about.
You don't bring pies, but you definitely have cookies.
Cookies and
cupcakes
are
I'll
fine.
take.
Cookies with the. And I remember the tweet that I sent you about the sugar cookie. I don't know who thinks those are nasty. I like them.
I love sugar cookies.
Yeah.
Or not the sugar cookies, the frosted cookies.
Yeah, the frosted cookies. Yeah, sugar cookies are different. But
yeah, I need milk. Look, I really don't hate any cookies. People hate oatmeal. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oatmeal's great. I don't buy it, but the oatmeal you buy when you buy the variety pack, unless you're
oatmeal or oatmeal cookies.
Oatmeal cookies.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So it's and the ice. Oh God. You know what's really bad? The ones with the frosted oatmeal cookies at Publix.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
like that.
they make them really tiny. They make them super tiny, and they
For a
are
reason.
instantly binge worthy.
Yeah.
And my dad buys them because he eats them, and I go back to West Palm, and it's a box right there, and it's like just one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Like it's
I
bad.
had
It's really
I
bad.
had one person who bought chili or who made chili for Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I want chili because there's dip somewhere near. You know what I mean? It's
I
weird.
think I feel like chili makes sense, but first you have to trust the person who's making the chili.
Very much so.
You have to trust it because and look, everybody has that friend or family member that makes their famous chili. I hope to be one of those people one day.
I do not have that
But
in
uh,
my
but
life.
I already told you what I'm gonna make for my first actual like when you come over to my place.
Oh
Whenever I
yeah.
buy that, I know what I'm making because that man inspired. That man is a hero. To be
Well,
honest,
that's why I sent it.
I
Aside
subscribe to
from,
his channel. I don't
oh, did
subscribe to
you?
many channels. I don't.
I'll
I
have to
don't like
revisit
many
to
videos
see.
on YouTube. I know everybody asks to like and subscribe. Even I will ask to like and subscribe, but
We
I will not
have.
like and subscribe many people. But I did this one because it was inspiring, Charles. That
That's
is
that's doing it right.
right. Exactly. Okay. Just that man was like it was poetry.
The
Poetry.
double cheese.
The double the the hand breaded panko, and the way he mixed it, the way he did it, like it was like I said, it was beautiful. It was poetry.
Yeah, we
I
cried.
absolutely love it. So I have no at this
So
point,
foods needed.
yeah. But yeah,
I
it's
feel like we're
finger
missing.
foods. It's the
Yeah,
finger
finger
foods.
foods.
It is the finger foods. You got your chips, your salsas, you got your hot dogs, and your burgers. And
I
um,
man, I never really had places that had hot dogs or burgers. Sometimes there's been pizza, sometimes there've been other stuff. But if I wanted, I don't want to be rude, but if I wanted hot dogs or if I wanted burgers at a Super Bowl party, I would just go order my own burger. I would get a
hmm,
gourmet burger, straight up. I'm weird. What can I say? I think it's because we've done so many of them, and it is stuff that you get the expected same food. So that's why I'm always
hmm.
happy. Like, you know what you don't see enough of? Shrimp. I'm like, what? I can get behind shrimp for Super Bowl for finger food and stuff like that. I can
Yeah,
get behind it.
I mean, I can't do it no more, but I can see
Uh,
why you
uh,
would do that.
yeah, give me some panko on that mofo.
Hmm.
Do it for the two of us.
Well, I think that kind of ends our discussion there for this, Charles. And you know what? We can get to this earlier than normal because I really don't have anything more else about sports because this is not really a sports show no more.
Yeah,
So let's head on over to the
to the
cage.
cage.
Here we go.
And who knows, it'll be brief, but we'll see.
Here we go.
Welcome, everybody. Your weekly Truplex The Cage with Charles. Full disclosure, wrestling is not fake. It is scripted. It is a stage fight. It is a soap opera. It's a song and dance. It's about men and women trying to beat the holy hell out of each other, establish their legacies, win championships, just, looking good in life and succeeding. All those other fun things that we come into it. As Andrew's throwing 5,000 things at us at one time. But anywho, what's going on in the wrestling world? How are we going to break it down? It's going to be a relatively short show today. Why? Not that I don't love you people. I love all of you and everything like that. It's just sometimes that's what happens when you're in February and everything's kind of go through. So we know that some things are being stalled up a little bit. New Japan, they're hurting. Ring of Honor, they're waiting. Impact, they're building. Let's hit up to where you want to hear from AEW and WWE. And we're going to give AEW the back end. It gets the closing song, it gets the encore. So let's just go straight into the WWE world right now. As we know, NXT is going on. I have no idea what the hell is happening, but they are doing St. Valentine's Day Massacre or St. Vengeance Day or whatever it is, a pay per view that's next week. I think actually it might be this weekend. There's a couple confirmed matches. I will confirm that so I can make predictions for you guys. But right now on USA, or is it Sci Fi because they're dealing with the um, Olympics fraudulent. it's just as rigged as wrestling. I don't understand why you guys love it so much, but whatever. On the main roster, what we have going on is Bobby Lashley dripping it up, looking good as my WWE champion, saying he's the best, talking that talk with Brock Lesnar, saying Brock ain't never defend no WWE championship. And I know Bobby's tough on the mic. He's not the best, but damn it, I love me a good Bobby Lashley. I love him. I love him so much. I don't have any idea, Francisco, what the hell we're gonna do with that title at Mania. But look at that man's attire. It is beautiful, and we love it. Remember, Bobby is gonna be headlining. I hope the Elimination Chamber. Hopefully, it's the main event. And I'll tell you why it might not be the main event in a second. Over on Raw. Oh, hey, Uno's on the Switch for $3.99. Francisco, I'm looking at the eShop as we speak. Also, Hades.
I don't think they have crossplay though. That's the thing.
Oh, son of a bitch! Well, it's a very fun game.
Yeah,
I think
know.
I did not sponsor that one, but it's some
Mm-hmm.
cool-ish. Yeah, I remember we checked and we didn't find it. Lame, lame. I mean, I could buy it for $4, but it ain't gonna happen. We'll buy Uno on the eShop for $4, and also on your PlayStation, Xboxes. Anywho, there's some other cards that are being built for the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. It's not Crown. Is it Crown Jewel? We're building. They're calling it Elimination Chamber. That's right. I don't know if that's still a smart name to put, but what have you. Lita versus Becky Lynch, Raw Women's Championship. Okay, right, fine. I like Lita. I don't know what she has in the tank. I don't know if her style would mesh well with Becky, but it's good for them to kind of have more women wrestling over there. Because remember, the very restricting rules. I'm not trying to get political. I'm just keeping it real. Where there was concerns about even having women wrestling, and then they had Natalia and Lacey Evans being the first ones to wrestle over there, and then you had Becky and I don't know if it was Becky and Bianca, and I think Bailey was in it. No, Sasha Banks had a match. Bailey was over there with Naomi on a match. So there's progress, I guess, in the wrestling world. So that's better. They're also going to do a women's elimination chamber, but the title's not going to be defended. What's going to happen is going to be a spot to go and challenge the Raw Women's Champion there. I'm presuming we're going to get RK Bro versus Alpha Academy for the Raw tag titles. The card could be interesting. The card could be trash. Actually, Francisco, is Elimination Chamber this weekend? This is what happens when I still had fatigue from
WWE Elimination Chamber. Let's look
February
it up
19th.
on Twitter.
Right, cool. Whew. It's all right. It's all right. I got scared because I was like, oh no. I was really like, oh no. What I have been liking is Everything Saturday. However, we are getting Vengeance Day, I think, next week on USA. So it's not going to be a full out pay per view like they did a year ago, which is kind of a bummer because if you want me to give NXT 2.0 a real chance, I want to see how it functions without commercials in there because it ruins the flow unless you have like the main event match being picture in picture. But anyway, we're building up to Elimination Chamber. I'm hoping Bobby gets a good chance. I like who's in the Elimination Chamber. We won't go into predictions because that'll be for next week. But my concern is the WWE Championship might also be a second off because guess who's back? Back again. And this man's usually the death kill, the death blow for any reigning champion when they have to challenge this man for a title. And it's Goldberg. And he's challenging Roman for the Universal Championship at Saudi Arabia, at Elimination Chamber. And no one has really survived much credibility, Francisco, as a champion once they've had to go against Goldberg. He killed the Fiend, basically, and he was Bray Wyatt wasn't really able to recover back from that. He went against Drew in Drew's second run, and that was ho-hum. Ended Kevin Owens' reign to win that championship, too, originally. Originally, he was supposed to go schedule against Roman at Mania from 2 years ago, but, the Rona kind of came in, and Vince, he doesn't let go of certain things in the past. Goldberg went against Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam, and wasn't really a good match. The guy's just a buzzkill. I like him when he's in stuff that's not for titles. I thoroughly enjoyed his Crown Jewel match against Bobby Lashley. And now he goes against Roman. And what doesn't also make sense, Francisco, is the difference between Brock and Goldberg. Because Brock just goes and says, I want a title shot. You get a title shot. You're Brock Lesnar, right? You're a part-timer, but you're an active part-timer. Goldberg's a special attraction. And he's just going against Roman and says, you're next. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Because that match is not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. It's just going to be what they dub as the master of spears going against each other. Goldberg's finishing move isn't even the spear, kids. It's the jackhammer. I don't understand that. And I don't know how many. It's really hot in Saudi Arabia too. So remember, last time Goldberg was in Saudi, aside from beating the Fiend, he almost killed Taker in their other match. I'm so the Elimination Chamber takes place on a Saturday at like 12 p.m. I just might do what I did with Survivor Series and just skip it, or I might just watch like the championship match itself, the Elimination Chamber one, where Bobby's defending top, because I am not invested in that at all. And listen, Goldberg's 55 and he's in fantastic shape. I just Roman style wrestling is already kind of its own hybrid, but I don't know if you can get a 3-star match out of this with it being a regular match. If you go no DQ, yeah, fine, you might have fun with it. Him and Bobby had a good match, no DQ. Ah, just looking at and I liked Goldberg when he was starting out in WCW when he was undefeated with the streak because it was something compelled by, but everything after that, yeah, bleh. NXT Vengeance Day is going to be next week. It's going to be on during the show. So I won't give predictions because I figure what we can do is when we start the show next week, we'll start with the
Live reaction.
cage. Well, that or the cage starts
Mm.
first. But I think live reaction should now that you mentioned it, probably be the best thing to go. And you guys will just be hearing me like scream some stuff. But yeah, Braun Breaker
Ooh,
versus
ah.
Santos Escobar for the NXT Championship. I'm looking forward to that. I love me the Spanish strip that is Santos Escobar, and I like Braun Breaker. He's grown on me. Carmelo Hayes versus Cameron Grimes for the North American Championship. Um, Tag team titles online for Toxic Attraction versus Indy Hartwell Persia Perota. The Dusty Cup Challenge finals going on with whoever's going against each other. They haven't confirmed, but I'm sure that's going on right now. Pete Dunne versus Tony D'Angelo steel cage match. That one's a head scratcher. I know that's Dunne's last match before he presumably gets called up or released. Vince, he likes to fire people, but you had a crowbar and a pole match. So why would you just think the next step up is a steel cage match, right? Makes no sense. I think if you just did a no DQ, that probably makes more sense, I guess. I don't know. I'm just a guy who is a lawyer who sometimes pretends to make an imaginary world about being a wrestler or doing wrestling stuff to decompress from the world. What can I say? Um, so that's where we're at with certain things. And then AEW, big ish happening tomorrow. TBS, watch Dynamite. So weird to say TBS because I've been saying TNT, but you're going to have this big signing that's coming in. It could be a lot of people. There's a lot of free agents that happened from last week. Could have been Keith Lee, could be Karrion Cross, maybe it's Johnny Gargano. I watched Dynamite last week. I watched the main event, MJF versus CM Punk. We like both of them. I don't love CM Punk the way a lot of people love CM Punk, but I appreciate CM Punk still there. I love me some MJF. The guy's a pure heel. The guy would go to a Make a Wish Foundation and flip the kids the bird because he's
Indeed.
totally in heel mode as kayfabe, and that's what you have to be. He's the one doing the shit heel moves. They had their match on Wednesday. It went 40 minutes. It went about 15 minutes too long because I don't need. And this is part of the problem with if you like New Japan wrestling, every match there was like a marathon at 60 minutes, and not everything needs to be 60 minutes. And what they did in this main event is they did like a double fake where MJF choked out CM Punk and CM Punk passed out, but he used like a garrote on him, like a not necessarily like a garrote kids, but like a slip or something, and he passed out on the ref side. And then it ends where Wardlow, who is CM Punk's dude in the Pinnacle, comes out, makes it seem like he's going to hurt Punk, not hurt Punk, bypass him, and he passes him the diamond ring that Punk has been consecutively winning each year and knocks out CM Punk when the ref's not going there to give CM Punk his first loss to pass over the torch to MJF, I guess. And you saw them talking after the match to a degree, like not talking like, hey, I love you, but MJF's on top of Punk covering his mouth. You can tell they're having some words because that's big, man. That's saying something where, CM Punk came back, probably the biggest mover on that roster aside from Bryan Danielson. And they perfectly gave MJF the rub because what happens? What does that mean? Does it mean that man in the screen and Hangman Adam Page? He's going to go against Lance Archer tomorrow in a Texas death match. Basically, anything goes. Lance Archer won a Texas death match against Jon Moxley for the NWN New Japan World Wrestling US Championship. I'm not about this feud whatsoever. I think the match will be fine, but anytime you bring Dan Lambert on my screen along with Jake the Snake Roberts and you have two managers kind of talking trash about your champion, I think it just deflates momentum out because Lance Archer is managed by Jake the Snake Roberts. Dan Lambert's just doing things now because I think that's Tony Khan's idea of like if we get America's top team out there, that's going to help out. That's going to benefit. That's going to get ratings, views. Meh, meh. I can't get into it, and that's the problem sometimes. Is if you want compelling storytelling, it's fine. I think the issue with Lance Archer was he was kind of gone for a couple of months. He had a concussion, of course. We know what happens there. He's off or whatever, and then he just came back and just challenged it. What happened to the ranking system? Isn't Adam Cole, Bebe, your number one guy? Why is it Lance Archer's getting a title shot out of nowhere after doing nothing except beating up the guy? We have rankings that say something differently. I don't know. It's stuff like that that can kind of get confusing, and then you remember wrestling's fake or staged or scripted and whatever you want to call it, and then you realize, hey, get over it, Charles. You're being a punk. Why you do it this way? I know. It happens, Francisco. I don't watch Rampage, but I heard the Sammy Guevara Isaiah Cassidy match was good. They're going to do a Face of the Revolution ladder match, and whoever wins that, they will have title shots into the future. They've done in the past as well. I'm trying to find out what tomorrow's card is, but I can't seem to have it, so I'm just like spitballing. AEW is still getting there, still improving. Their next pay-per-view is Revolution, which is Monday, not Monday, in March, and I don't know if I would buy it. Obviously, you have to have like the perfect card for me to have that per se, but it's always a possibility and things are always on the table for consideration. I did buy it for what was it, Full Gear that I saw, and I was mostly satisfied
Yeah.
with it. And
Yeah.
then tomorrow they're just teasing some stuff. Yeah, except for what had happened,
Yeah.
but I learned, right?
Mhm.
But I learned. It's what happens. It's what we do. Okay, fine. But it's interesting, and now it's kind of the momentum to get me excited because Revolution is kind of like their WrestleMania. So I have my predictions of what I think will happen in Revolution. But here's the thing about wrestling: it makes no sense to do predictions full out until you know it's on the card, unless DraftKings comes into play. But that's all I got for you this week on a very, very controlled episode of The Cage.
Okay, so I think that's it. I think we talked some sports, but it was mainly food and video games, which is kind of what we expected when Andrew said he wasn't going to be here.
Oh yeah, a
And might
different
be
a different side of us woke
yeah.
up.
This will probably be the next few episodes while he hunkers down, and yeah, well, we'll see what happens next week with the Super Bowl. We'll probably actually talk about that next time. But I'm out. Everybody else is out. See ya.
Bye guys.